Everybody, welcome to the wonderful, beautiful world of Vigor. So, in this video, I'm going to be trying to answer the questions: how well does Vigor run on the Ausus ROG Ally Z1 or Z1? Now, remember, the one that I have, that Ausus UK have been kind enough to lend me, is the non-extreme version of the ROG Ally. So, I run it at 720p. I set the frame up to 120 Hz though. You can maybe just about see the frames per second in the top of the screen, but generally, after playing a few rounds of Vigor on the ROG Ally, I've got to say it runs very, very well. And then we're also going to answer the question: is it a good game? And is it worth buying in early access? Because Vigor, when it's on full release on PC, because obviously we're playing the PC version, because we're playing on a ROG Ally, will be free. But at the moment, you've got to pay about $20 US. I think it's £16 to actually play it, which is kind of a little bit unusual, isn't it? To actually have to pay to play a free-to-play game. But what you do get is you do get a load of guns and consumables and resources, so that you can explore how you actually play the game. And you can also, they also give you lots of the in-game currency as well, so you can spend it on cosmetics and lots of other stuff to kind of get a feel for how the game works. Now, all that stuff will be wiped when it comes out of early access, which is important to know, but you will be re-given, and your character will be wiped, and your base progression will be wiped, but you'll be re-given all of the items from that. I can't quite remember what it's called. It's like a foundation pack or something that you get for your money. So I'll tell you what I should be doing. I should be saying quick play. So let's see if we can get into a game, and I'll try and talk at the same time. The problem is, you've really got to concentrate in Vigor, because Vigor is a extraction shooter set in a post-apocalyptic Norway in the 1990s. So there's been a nuclear war. And this is my base. This is not raidable. Nobody else can come here and steal any of my stuff. Everything that I can extract to the base, I keep. But what we have to do is we have to go on these. I'm gonna use the word excursions, but that makes them sound like it's a fun holiday trip. We go off onto these different maps, and on these maps we're looking for resources. So we're looting up, going through houses, going through vehicles, and we're finding things like electronic parts, food, chemicals, weapons, ammunition, all this sort of thing. And on this map, while we're doing that, there's a number of other players, and so we can either choose to go and look for these players, or we can choose to avoid them. And there will also be, at some point, a airdrop will come in, and again we can choose to go and try and get the airdrop, or just ignore it. And then we can choose to extract at any time we want as well, which is pretty cool. So you don't have to fight other players. You can, just play it as a kind of a looter game and avoid other players, and just enjoy exploring and being like a bit of a loot goblin. So if you're a fan of that in DayZ, then this game really, it feels a lot like DayZ. It really does. It's like having DayZ, but with a base that nobody can raid, that you can take stuff back to, and then it does have these sort of free-to-play mechanics as well that I'll talk about in a minute. There's also a couple of other game modes. There's like a free-for-all game mode where you just spawn in and give them random kit and you can shoot people. And then there's also a team-based version of that. And the whole gameplay loop, really, of Vigor is leveling up your base, which then gives you a better workshop, so you can craft things like weapons and consumables, grenades, bandages, and all that sort of stuff. And then getting crates which give you blueprints so that you can make weapons. And then then you go and loot up at a particular area. You try and stay alive. You extract, and once you've extracted, you bring that loot with you, and then your base gets better. You get better stuff, and you can keep going. But obviously, it's your choice, right? So what we're going to do now is we're just going to buy some insurance, because they give you so much money in the early access to put more loot onto the drop as well. That you might as well do all this sort of stuff. Let's just say I'm ready as well. And I've got to say, I've had an awful lot of fun. Now, I have killed a couple of people while I've been wandering around, but I'm a bit of a camper when it comes to this sort of stuff. I've definitely ambushed them rather than got into like your traditional kind of gunfight where we're both running around. I'd imagine the gunplay will take quite a lot of getting used to, because it's third-person gunplay as well. I mean, you go first-person when you ADS and do it that way. But I really enjoyed the atmosphere and the ambience of the levels as we're moving around. Yeah, and so, you know, it runs well. It seems to be a good game. I'm enjoying it. So they're all big ticks. So the next thing is, should you buy it in early access? Let's turn this volume down a little bit. And I think it's tricky. I think so this is the encounter we're going into. So I'm over here. These are extraction points. And what's interesting about these extraction points is you need stuff to activate them. So, right, let's just move to start off with, because often there's other players around straight away. Okay, so let's bring out the map. So, for example, we need, I think that's electronic parts for that one to make it work. And for this one, we're gonna need metal parts. I think it's a bit difficult to see on that way. So this is a really interesting map actually. So I think what we'll do, we will head towards this area here. So that should appear on my compass at the top. Well, we're going north, east, aren't we? Kind of going this way, and we'll loot as we go along. And I'll try and talk as I go along. So to actually play in early access, you've got to buy this starter pack for about £16, I think it is, about $20 US, and it gives you loads and loads of stuff. And the good thing about that is that it enables you to be able to play around with things that you simply wouldn't be able to play around with if you started the game with nothing. Lots of different weapons, lots of different gadgets and devices, lots of different resources.
Use the comm station to change the drop zone.
So let's go in here, let's do a little bit of, start doing a bit of looting. So that's what we need for, okay, so that's what we need for that exit, yeah. In fact, I think we might change our exit actually, we might use this one. And I think that, you know, if you think you might well enjoy the game, then having those things to practice with and really understand how the game works and learn the maps, you know, is definitely worth doing. Obviously, when it goes free to play, it's definitely worth checking out and having a go with, because, you know, it's free to play, it doesn't cost you anything. But also, I think, you know, if you've paid to kind of get started, that does make you a little bit more careful when it comes to learning the game and spending some time learning the game as well. For example, yeah, it really is a stealth game, I think, Vigor. You know, you've got to go around carefully. Oh, we just got a gun there, didn't we, I think? Did we get a gun? I've already got a Mosin Nagant, so I don't want that one. And so, kind of, I would sort of say, if you kind of listening to what I'm saying and looking at the gameplay and thinking, actually, this is my cup of tea. I really enjoy looting, especially if you played DayZ and you really enjoy the looting side of DayZ, you know, and exploring and doing that sort of stuff. Then this could well be for you. Then I think it kind of may well be worth. Am I going the right way? Yeah. It may well be worth investing in Vigor and having a go with it. It's a game that is in development, so things like multiplayer aren't available at the moment. Spawning in with friends isn't available, and there's lots of things that they'll want to add to the game as time goes on. So I saw someone over there. But I've really been having a blast, and I've really enjoyed playing Vigor. I think because I originally played it way back when on the PlayStation 4 when it first came out. It's a different game from then. You know, it's a lot smoother as well, and it's very nice having a Bohemia Interactive game that has a really nice user interface as well, with things like challenges and a battle pass and sort of dailies that you can do. And the maps are a reasonable size. The games are fairly short as well. We're talking about 15 minutes tops, I think, which I think, you know, is really good. It means you can jump in, jump out. If you get insurance, it means that if you die, then, you know, it doesn't really matter. You can take all the kit, not only the kit that you took in with you, but also anything that you've scavenged along the way as well, which is pretty cool. And this is a really nice looking map, this one, isn't it? Very, very nice. I feel very exposed though. Let's run across this bit. Oh, we're leaving. Are we there already? We don't want to leave yet. Where are we now? Oh, it's a hidden. Oh, there's a hidden exit. Oh, that's interesting. Or maybe it's a bug. At least we know that's there. So yeah, so sort of to kind of summarise everything, it's always difficult to do these things while I'm actually talking. I would say, if you're looking at this and thinking, yeah, this looks nice, I like the idea of this game. Oh, took a bit of damage there, didn't we? Let's get behind some cover. I don't know the commands. See, I don't really know this map, so let's go over here and then maybe we can ambush this guy. Okay, let's wait here for a little bit. So yeah, so if you're watching the gameplay thinking, oh right, yeah, this is my cup of tea, this, I like the idea of being able to go into a game and choose whether I want to engage other players or just loot and then extract, you know, when I want to, then, you know, I think it's definitely worth checking out. I do think it's worth buying it in early access if that sort of thing appeals to you, because it does give you all this extra stuff that you can play around with and actually learn how to use the game, which will then be reissued when the game wipes and it goes to free to play. And it runs very, very nicely, as you can see, on the ROG Ally Z1, non-extreme, and so it will run really nicely on the extreme version as well. Anyway, that's enough from me. I need to be able to deal with this person. It's difficult to do this when I'm chatting away. If you enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I will, of course, see you again soon.